back in the flow a little bit.
Does last year's bowl game relate to this one at all, or is it just another game in the past?
No, it's in the past, but surely we're not going to forget. The last couple bowl games here, we got to play better. We got to. So I think it's something that you don't ever forget about. I don't. We didn't play very well and got beat. So I think you got to keep that in your mind. But on the other hand, too, you got to move on. You got to have the ability to move on, and we're playing Florida State, and think about that instead of last year's game.
I didn't know if the title bowl game related, because really it's just another game, and you've had several since that bowl game.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're just practicing for the next game right now. I think everybody bowl camp, bowl practice. We're practicing for the next game, and it happens to be a big one in Atlanta, and I think the guys are excited about it.
Coach said you're doing some things maybe differently this year than last year, getting ready for the bowl game. What are you doing? Anything differently?
Well, going a lot of good on good. We went good on good today and team the entire time, I think that part of it's a little change up and a little more physical. We did team inside. So I think getting out there and doing that and going good on good is really, really a big help for us right now too.
Psychologically, does it help that? No disrespect, Connecticut, they're a heck of a team. We all found that out. But psychologically, does it help that this is a big-name opponent you're playing, you think?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the kids that. I mean, it's obviously regionally and for recruiting and some things, it does matter more, in this part of the country. And playing in Atlanta, Florida State recruits state of Georgia. We recruit the state of Georgia, and so maybe in that respect, it means a little bit more. And Florida State's been a good program for a long time, and hopefully the kids will look at it and be excited about playing them. And I think they are.
You said you're being a little more physical this time, maybe this year than last year. Are you in better health at this point than you were a year ago?
Yeah, pretty similar. I mean, I think we were fairly healthy last year, off the top of my head. But we're fairly healthy right now. But I think it's just too. There's so much time in between games these days, these bowl games. And of course, for us this year, we were fortunate to have the opportunity to play in a championship game. So that got us another extra week of work and practice that we didn't have last year. And so there's not quite the gap that we have, that we had a year ago. But I just think the more you can get out there and get right back at it and everything. Guys took a good break, had their finals, and now we're practicing. So,
do you even see that they are a little sharper because maybe they did have that extra game than compared to a year ago?
Yeah, so far, so far we've had 2 decent practices. They haven't been great, but that's again, that's pretty typical. First couple of times after they come off, I think we gave them 8 days off, 9 days off, something like that. And but the tempo's decent and their attitudes are good, and that's the key.
Is Steven, now that he had that little break, is he back to 100% now? Where Knicks are?
Yeah, he seems good.
Yeah.
I asked him, I don't think there'll be any issues. His thumb feels good, and got out of the championship game, ran the ball a few times, got out unscathed, so he feels pretty good.
Of course, you've probably seen the Philadelphia newspaper that's linked to you as a candidate for the Temple job. You have any comment on that?
No. That's if I would have coached up in that area, I think that's just natural. I got ties to that area and that kind of stuff, and all that. Getting ready for Florida State.
Would you be interested in interviewing, or would you be receptive to that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that when and if there's ever any situation to talk about.
How has Steven rebounded from the SEC championship medal?
Yeah, he seems to be. I think the whole team has. I mean, we watched it, graded it up, and did just like we do all games, and then put it behind us and move on. And it wasn't our best day, obviously, and you learn from it, and then let's try to correct it and get better for the game in Atlanta this second time around in Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Is there anything you're doing differently this year with him after the last 2 bowl games? Have we struggled a little bit? Switch anything up with Steve in particular?
No, I hadn't switched anything up. We're just going to continue to work on fundamentals. That's what we've done these last 2 days, is really get back and talk fundamentals and try to over and over and over try to get better and continue to try to get him to become a more accurate passer. And I think that's what these extra practices and bowl practices are so critical to get that extra time to continue to work on those, along with obviously the young quarterbacks too. So.
In looking at the film from the SEC game, what are you taking away from it for the bowl game? What are you taking away for it when you're looking for what to put in place for next season?
Say again.
Sorry, from the bowl game. I mean, from the SEC game. What is it when after looking at the film that you're taking away that that needs to be worked on for the bowl game, but even maybe things that you're even looking for to put into place for next season? Just things that you need to work on.
Well, I mean, that was just a game that we didn't play as well, didn't execute. I mean, I don't think. I mean, we are what we are, and we do what we do, and I think that these bowl practices, what you take from that game to the next, is just improvement in all areas: special teams, defense, and offense. And you don't go change everything you've done for 14 games. I mean, the nice thing is after 14 games, you kind of know what you are and what you can do, and then you try to throw in some wrinkles and stuff for every game. But bowl game, you get a little extra time. But now we're not going to go change, but we do have to improve on some of the things from that championship game before we get back over to Atlanta.
Seems like you had some success working on the outside. Is that something you might try to do a little bit more of?
Yeah, we did. We had we had some success with that, and Lloyd kind of dictated the way they played there, and we did that a little bit in the second half. But yeah, we've got to get better on the outside in our run game, especially with all the inside stuff that we do.